We've had a compatibility issue with this paint that we are trying to put on. Turn this off.
When I'm on the phone with them, I'll be like, hey, listen, I'm not going to pay for the shipping, but I will pay.
So we're having a compatibility problem with this paint here. I don't know if you can see the difference. Yeah, you can see. It's all black, and then you have the copper ablative. That's we've been wiping off essentially. This has been the solution. The issue here is normally these have gel coat on them, and then you put a barrier coat, and then whatever bottom paint you're trying to use. These guys have a fair amount of paint left over from another boat that they usually are doing, and they'd like to put that on there, but the existing paint is not compatible with that. Otherwise we would just spray it over. So one solution would be to sand it down to the gel coat. The issue is that there is no gel coat, and there is some sort of primer underneath. I actually thought this here was gel coat, but this sands off, and there's been a few layers of paint to this black layer. There's a white and a red, and this black, and then this copper ablative. You can actually see the looks like a penny here. But all that sands off. It's not gel coat, it's just paint. So this primer has basically sealed in all of the fiberglass underneath. You can actually see some of it here, which is typically full of pits and holes and what have you, and this is why there's primer over it. My guess is that somebody restored this bottom, and that's what they did instead of gel coat. And the solution, as far as sanding it, is a bad idea because I don't want to keep going through areas and have to, primer it or add more issue. Like everything, this is in really good shape. The bottom is in really good shape. There's not much to it, I just wanted to sand it down and call it a day, but this presented itself, and so the solution has been essentially using this stuff here, which is, man, horrid. It's burning through everything. Burning through gloves, burning through dish gloves. I've been using this here. This has been kind of working, but still you can feel this is my inside glove, and that's moderate. You can still feel it kind of coming through and burning, which is nuts. This has got a good liner in it and everything, so really nasty stuff. Owner said to me, when are we going to just call it a day and just respray? Respray it and see what happens. So we're actually going to get some paint, a couple different kinds of paint, and do a little swatch spots and actually see what happens. They say non-compatible, but what that means exactly is there's a huge degree of what that actually means. Some paint will immediately blister up against something, and then there's stuff that will dry and flake off, like this actually. All grip up top is all sanded, but all this just flakes right off with the bottom paint as I've been sanding it and taking it off, so it doesn't stick. And then there's like other stuff, like if you put polyester over epoxy, it just won't dry, or over moisture or whatever. So we're gonna test that, I guess. There's the only area that has no sanding or anything is between the keel and the hull, so, and you can see that where I haven't sanded at all, or added any solvent or anything like that. So I think that's probably going to be my go-to test area. We'll use a brush or something and put it up there and see what happens. See if it dries, see if it flakes up, see if it, drips down the side and falls off. We'll see what happens. That's what's going on with this mess.